So Euro 2024 is on the horizon, and these are my predictions. Yeah, I have spent a lot of time thinking about these predictions, going over the predictions, and they seem about right. Yeah, these are my predictions. What I think. Who will win every group stage, who will get knocked out of every group stage, and I've not just gone with the flow, I've not gone with what everyone else would have predicted, I've gone with my own predictions, and this is genuinely what I think. I haven't just gone with what everyone else has gone with. Yeah. Euro 2024 predictions. I've said that twice now. We're going to go from Group A to Group F, and then we're going to predict the top scorer to, is it Dark Horse or Golden Boy? I think it's top scorers to Golden Boy, so we're going to be predicting all of that as well. But yeah, let's start with Group A. So, Group A consists of Hungary, Switzerland, the hosts, Germany, and Scotland. Let's just get fourth over and done with. Is Scotland. Yeah, most people think that Scotland will go out, and yeah, they've not got a lot going for them. Shankland is a promising player going into this tournament for them from the Scottish Premiership. They've got, obviously, a major player in Andy Robertson. They've got Callum McGregor, who's had a great season for Celtic. They've also got Scott McTominay, who's had a decent enough season for Man United. But yeah, I don't think Scotland really have the minerals. They're not the greatest team out of Switzerland, Germany, and Hungary. So, yeah, they're going fourth. They finished rock bottom in the last tournament. I think it was Czech, England, and who else was in there? Croatia. And they finished fourth. I mean, if they've still got bloody David Marshall in goal, then they've got no chance. I don't even know who their goalkeeper is now. I don't even know who Scotland's goalkeeper is. Yeah. Yeah, I think their best player going into this tournament is probably Andy Robertson and then Scott McTominay. But Shankland has also got potential as well. But I don't think that's enough for Scotland to even get to the round of 16. Third, I predict Hungary. I've predicted Hungary because, let me just make one thing clear. Dominik Szoboszlai is going to be an absolute menace for Hungary in the Euros. I could have predicted them higher. But yeah, this is just what I think. Hungary will go... will be in third place because I don't think they're good enough to get top two. But they've got some decent players. Dominik Szoboszlai, who has ripped it apart at points for Liverpool this season. He can score knuckleballs from literally anywhere. He can score amazing goals. He can score free kicks from long range distances. And he can do all sorts. He's a magician on the ball. You've also got Salai as well, who's a decent player. And you've got also Willy Orban, who's been good for his club in recent years. His club and his country. So I reckon Hungary have got a decent chance. Yeah, Hungary third. Second, Switzerland. Yeah, they've got Granit Xhaka, who's just come off the back of winning the league with Leverkusen going unbeaten all 38 games. They did get a shock result to France in the last tournament, which I think was very good for them. They've got Jan Sommer as a goalkeeper, who I don't think is their actual first choice goalkeeper. I think that's Gregor Kobel, but he was decent at Euro 2024. He was dubbed like he was dubbed a very good player. Yeah, he's fallen off a bit since Euro 2020. But yeah, Gregor Kobel's just good enough for Switzerland. And then you've got obviously Xherdan Shaqiri, who he's a good player on his day. He's a really good player on his day. Yeah, Switzerland second, and then first Germany. Yeah, they have got an ageing squad with the likes of Gundogan going into his 35s. Toni Kroos, this will be his last tournament. You've also got Manuel Neuer, who's probably going to retire very soon as well. And also Thomas Muller, but you have got a lot of potential in that squad. Andrić, Wirtz, Musiala. There's a lot of talent in that squad, and I think they've also got a lot of potential going into Euro 24 as well. Yeah, Germany are going to win the group. So now we move on to Group B, where it's Croatia, Italy, Spain and Albania. My fourth position, Albania. Again, not the strongest team going into this group. With the group they've got, it's almost a group of death. The only player I actually know from this squad has to be Armando Broja. I don't know any other. I've got to be honest. I don't know any other players from the squad than Armando Broja. I think they're going to be a team that get absolutely battered by every team in the group. They're going to get battered by Spain, and I think they're just going to get absolutely thrown out the group with no chance of actually winning a game. They might cause a shock, but probably not. My third place, Croatia. Yes, they've got an ageing squad, but they've also got some decent players in that squad as well. The likes of Luka Modric. This is probably going to be one of his last tournaments, but he's still a very good player at the age of 35. 34, 35. You've got Mateo Kovacic as well, who has been very good for Croatia in the past. You've also got the likes of Gvardiol, who's been incredible for Man City this season. There's also Kramaric as well. And then their goalkeeper, Livakovic, who was decent in the World Cup. Actually got a breakthrough in the World Cup. I don't actually know what age he is. I think he's in his 20s, so that could have been his breakout tournament. But he was very good in the World Cup. And yeah, he was a decent goalkeeper in the World Cup. So yeah, Croatia will finish third. Second, I've got Italy. Yeah. They have... Their squad is nowhere near as packed as it was last Euro. Their squad last Euro had the likes of Bonucci in it, Chiellini, Lorenzo Insigne. I don't know if he is still in the squad. Obviously, they've lost a big player in Tonali, who won't be playing still for a very long time. But they've got the likes of Zaniolo, who's had a decent enough season on loan for Aston Villa this season. They've got Federico Chiesa. There's still a lot of talent in that team. I don't know if Lorenzo Insigne still plays for the international team. But yeah, I don't think Italy will be able to retain their title, but I think they'll definitely get top 2. Yeah. The aim for Italy is probably quarterfinals, because I don't think they're going to get into the semi-final. They're not going to get anywhere near the final. Not with the squad they've got. The squad that they had back in Euro 2020 was a different category. It was a different pedigree. And England were the baby team going into that final. It was like Real Madrid playing West Ham in the Champions League final. But England did have a good go at that. And there's also players who play for Juventus who obviously have had decent seasons, that are also in the Italy national team. I think, is Moise Kean Italian? I'm not sure. But yeah, I think Moise Kean is Italian, so I'm not sure about that one. I think he is though. But yeah, Italy are gonna have a good Euro tournament, and I think they're gonna get second. Enough of me rambling. Let's get on to first place. So first, Spain. They've got all the squad they need. Oyarzabal, Real Sociedad. He's a very decent player. They've got a great player in Lamine Yamal. What a player this kid is going to be. And definitely taking him to the Euros. I mean, yeah, definitely taking him to the Euros is what he needs for his career. Ferran Torres has been decent for Barcelona this season. Morata has found form again at Atletico. He's been decent in the last couple of years. They've also got Rodri as well, who's been very, very good for Man City this season. There's a lot of good players. They've also got Pascal Gross in their team as well, and also Dani Olmo. And if their keeper is David Raya at the Euros, they've got a very good chance of going to that final. The limit of chance they've got to even get to the round of 16, I don't think it'll be possible for them to get to the round of 16 with the group they're in. So yeah, fourth, Slovenia. Third, Denmark. Denmark, because when you look at their squad, it's decent. You've got Højlund in there, who's been prolific for Manchester United over this season. Eriksen isn't the same as he was since his mishap in Euro 2020. You've got Andreas Christensen. You've got Yusuf Poulsen. If I'm right, I think Schmeichel is still the goalkeeper. If Simon Kjaer is still in that national team, you know, he's getting older now. He's just left AC Milan. So yeah, it's a balance of players, but I think the best that Denmark can do is third. Second, Serbia. They've got some pretty decent players in their squad. Dusan Vlahovic. He is going to be one to look out for. And I just sort of think that Serbia will be like an underdog story. They've got Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. They've also got Milinkovic-Savic's brother in goal as well. They've got Mitrovic. They've got Dusan Vlahovic, who has been on fire for Juventus this season. And I think Serbia can do it. I think Serbia are going to finish second. First, England. Well, the Three Lions are obviously going to finish first. Because who's not predicting them to just absolutely piss the group? Who's predicting them to not absolutely piss the group? Because they will. They will. With a lot, I mean, just look at that team. You've got Conor Gallagher, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kobbie Mainoo, Ollie Watkins, Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham. You've got Jordan Pickford, who is obviously going to be their number one goalkeeper. You've got such a big selection of players. Declan Rice. I mean, yeah. Just look at what Gareth Southgate has at his disposal. England are going to absolutely smash this group. So we move swiftly onto Group D. That is Poland, Netherlands, France and Austria. Fourth, it might come as a surprise to you, I put Poland. They've got an absolute monster of a striker up front with Lewandowski. But for the rest of the team, I just don't have a feeling that Poland will get to the round of 16. I've just not got a feeling that they'll get anywhere but group in this tournament. Lewandowski will be the only thing saving Poland if they do get anywhere near the group stages. Third, Austria. Now, Austria because they've got the likes of Marcel Sabitzer in the squad. They've got Baumgartner, or however you say it. I think it's Baumgartner, however you want to say it. Austria have got a pretty decent squad, but not enough to get in the top three. Top two, they are in the top three. I think Austria could cause a shock even. They're in the last Euros, and I can't remember where they finished in that tournament. But what I know is that Baumgartner has had great form for Austria, and he also scored the fastest goal in international football. It took about 5 seconds for him to score, I think. It might have even been 3. But yeah, Austria third. Second, Netherlands. I mean, look at the potential that team has. Yeah, it's a really, really good squad. Xavi Simons, Virgil van Dijk. You've got Gertrude, who is a Liverpool target. Yeah, there's a lot of potential in that team. They've got a big chance of going all the way and even winning it. They are one of the strongest teams. You've got Van Dijk, you've got Gertrude, you've got Memphis Depay, you've got Cody Gakpo, who's been a great player in Darwin Núñez's absence for Liverpool. You've got all you need, really, in that team. You've got Frankie de Jong, Wijnaldum, wasn't the same as he used to be, isn't the same as he used to be, sorry. But yeah, you've got a decent Netherlands team there that could finish second, and then obviously first, you go France. First, I have predicted France because, well, it's the most obvious team. Just look at what Didier Deschamps has got at his disposal. A newly signed to Real Madrid Kylian Mbappe. You've got the Hernandez brothers. You've got all you need, really. If Michael Elise had have gone to the Euros, he would have been an excellent addition. Mike Maignan has also gone to the Euros with France, who is a brilliant player as well. Hugo Lloris has been left out of the squad for obvious reasons. He's getting older now, and I think he's going to retire very soon. But yeah, France win the group. So we're on to Group E now, second to last group. Fourth, Romania. I just can't see them getting anywhere in this tournament with the teams that are in this group. The likes of Ukraine and Belgium. I think they're just really a small fish in a big pond. Radu Dragusin, I haven't seen much of at Tottenham, and I don't think he's that great of a player. Even Timo Werner scored before him, and that is saying something. Yeah, I haven't seen much of Dragusin to be able to say otherwise. So yeah, Romania fourth. They're either going to be a team who causes a shock or are just going to get battered in every game they play. Third, Slovakia. Obviously, I mean, they've got a legend. I don't even know if he's gone to the Euros, but Miralem Hamšík. I don't even know if he's gone to the Euros. I think he's retired, actually. But when he played for Slovakia, he was a good player. He was a good player, and he'll be a legend for Slovakia. But yeah, he's been good for Slovakia in the past, but now it's on to the future. Milan Skriniar, he plays for Inter Milan. He's a good player. Lobotka as well for Napoli. He's a good player as well. And with those two players, I think Slovakia have a good chance of getting third. Second, Ukraine. This could be Mikhailo Mudrik's breakout tournament. You've got Dovbyk as well. Tiskankov. Both Dovbyk and Tiskankov play for Ukraine. Mikolenko as well, the Evertonian. But yeah, Ukraine have a lot of potential coming into this tournament. And I think they could get to the round of 16. I think they will get to the round of 16. Yeah, they've got a good chance. They've got a good chance. They got to the quarter final in the last edition of the tournament, so that's pretty good going. They could get further this tournament, and this could be Mudrik's breakout tournament for Ukraine. So Chelsea should watch out. First, Belgium. With all the big nations, as I said with Slovakia, Romania, I think it was actually, they are a small fish in a big pond. Their so-called golden era is over. De Bruyne has been deliciously good for Man City this season. They've got Lavia as well. Amadou Onana. I'm not quite sure if they've taken Lavia. But this could also be, if they have taken Lavia, this could be a breakout tournament for Lavia. Belgium are either a team that could finish fourth or first. But, yeah, Lukaku had a really bad tournament at the World Cup, and it's one that you'd like to forget, probably. Courtois won't go to the Euros, which is disappointing for Belgium. I don't know who will go in goal for them. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure who will go in goal for them now that Courtois is not going. But yeah, they're my predictions for Group E. So the final group, Group F, Czech, Turkey, Portugal and Georgia. There are yeah, yeah. It's going to be very easy to predict this group. Fourth, Georgia. There's not a lot to say about this team. The only two players that I know from this team are Kvaratskhelia of Napoli and Mamardashvili, Georgi Mamardashvili, who plays for, I think, Valencia. Yeah, I honestly can't see Georgia getting any further than fourth. They might again be one of these teams who causes a shock, but I cannot see it happening. Georgia are going to finish rock bottom, and that is all I have to say for fourth place, because there's nothing more to say than that. Third, I went with Turkey. I was going to go with Turkey to be fourth, but then they've actually got some decent players. They've got Arda Güler, who he's going to be outstanding. He's going to be outstanding. Mark my words. Come back to this video in 10 years' time. Arda Güler is going to be one of Turkey's best players in 10 years' time. And he's going to be a little magician for Real Madrid as well. Turkey are going to finish third, but I think they can go further maybe if they do manage to get through to the round of 16, because I think if you finish third, you still get round of 16. Yeah, I think Turkey can do well in this tournament. They had Yilmaz, who is in Euro 2024. I think he has retired now, but he was their standout player. They've also got Soyuncu as well, Kaglar Soyuncu. Yeah, they've got some pretty decent players, and I think they can do decently. I think they could maybe do a bit of an underdog story as well. Second, Czech. I'd said earlier on in this video that about Souček, and I think it was Slovenia. I got the two countries mixed up. They've got the same sort of flag, so Souček does play for Czech Republic. Czech Republic have also got Patrick Schick as well, who was outstanding in the last edition of the tournament. And he's just also come off the back of winning the Bundesliga with Leverkusen as well. So yeah, Czech Republic second. Czech Republic, I think, could even make it to the quarterfinals. But yeah, I'm predicting them second. And then Portugal first. The amount of talent that is in this team. One of the greatest players of all time. Cristiano Ronaldo. You can't forget him. Even if he is washed or finished, you can't forget Ronaldo. Yeah, I think he's 39, he's going to be 40 next year. 40 years old, that's massive. But you've also got the likes of Rafa Leao, Diogo Jota, João Neves, Otavio. They'll obviously have Diogo. I've forgotten his last name. But he's a good goalkeeper. And he was in Portugal's last tournament. Yeah. And I honestly think that Portugal are going to have a really good tournament. There's also Bruno Fernandes, who we can't forget as well. So yeah, Portugal win the group. So, top scorer, Kylian Mbappe. He's obviously going to outscore every single player in this tournament, no doubt. He's probably going to score about 20 goals. I'm going to say he's probably going to score about 20 goals in this tournament. He's going to be on fire. Top assister, I've gone for Bruno Fernandes. I think he's going to get a decent amount of assists. Yeah, I think he's going to get a lot of balls on top of Ronaldo's head. That sounds really weird, the way that came out, but I think that he could get a few assists in this tournament. Star player, I've gone with Jamal Musiala. I think he's going to be amazing for Germany, and the way he's played for Bayern Munich this season, he's been a really key player for them, and I think he will end up being the star player of this tournament. Next, we have Dark Horse, and that is going to be Artem Dovbyk of Ukraine. He is he was a top scorer of La Liga last season, and played in a Girona team that got Champions League football, and I think he's going to be an underdog player. I've said that twice, like a glitch there. He's going to be an underdog player in this tournament, and I think he's going to have a decent tournament. He's going to have a very good tournament. And not last but not least, next we have Golden Boy. I praised him in this video before. It's Arda Güler. Arda Güler is going to be a Golden Boy in this tournament. As I just said, he's going to be Turkey's best player for the next 10 years. As young as he is, he's 18 years old, and I think Madrid might have signed him a bit too soon, but I think he's going to be Turkey's best player for the next 10 years. He's going to be a really good player. We're going to probably be talking about him getting the Ballon d'Or in 20 years' time. Yeah. And flop, I'm going to have to give it to Ivan Perisic, because he signed for Hajduk Split earlier on this season, but I just don't think there's a lot there. He's getting older, and I think he's just going to flop at this tournament, really. I think he's just going to flop. So they are my predictions for Euro 2024. If you enjoyed that video, you know what to do, which means like, subscribe, turn post notifications on, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.